They did it. They did it. They did it, everybody. They did it. Yes, they did it. Let's listen to them. A homecoming miracle. The Maryland Terps defeat the University of Southern California USC Trojans 29-28 in a game with a little bit of everything. On homecoming, the Terps get their biggest win in recent memory. While this isn't the vintage USC teams that have been powerhouses and perennial national championship contenders, for this Maryland team right now who came into this game 0-3 in the Big Ten, 3-3 overall, trying to become bowl eligible yet again, this is a circle the wagons win. I said this was a circle the wagons game. This is a launching pad victory potentially. This proved to me they have not quit on Mike Locksley, and Mike Locksley gets probably the biggest win in his Maryland tenure. And it gives Locksley a chance to breathe in, breathe out. Because this is a big time win for this program. Their quarterback of the future, Malik Washington, was in attendance today. This was what this program needed. It's just something about if you're familiar with or if you've attended a place of higher learning, a university, a college, when it's homecoming, it's a certain aura, a certain energy, a certain feeling in the air. The weather is just right. The sun is shining. Terps, old and new, gather. No matter the BS that we're going through in life or what we think of this current product of football, we come together, celebrate the past, embrace the present, and look forward to the future. And they look forward today with a big time win. A fourth quarter comeback, their largest since 2020. And it was just something that I didn't see happening. I'm glad I was wrong. I am admitting it here to you guys. I said I didn't think they were going to win. I did not have any faith in them. It was at probably 0%. As they say, it wasn't even a mustard seed size. This team was down 21-7 at halftime. And at that point, I thought the game was pretty much over. I said, well, they're going to come out in the third quarter. No effort, no energy. That's over. They're just ready for the homecoming after party. And the way they were playing, they didn't deserve to be at any goddamn homecoming events. They need to just take their ass, go to bed, get up and get ready for practice tomorrow and get better. But then Maryland comes out, wins the third quarter, 7-0. Then they win the fourth quarter, 15-7. How about the Maryland defense? I got to give them their props. I got to give them their love because in the second half, only giving up 14 points. 7 in the third quarter, 7 in the fourth quarter. That is what this team needs. The defense set the tone in the second half. They were playing fast, physical, aggressive, with heart, with passion, with a certain just level of energy. They played smart. You saw in that last drive, they didn't let USC get to the sideline or get out of bounds. They kept everything in the middle of the field. They protected the boundaries fantastically. And we got to give it up to the Maryland defense today. They get a game ball for sure. That third quarter interception pretty much changed Mr. Momentum in this game. And then the blocked field goal. So defense and special teams, we always talk about three phases. There's two of the three right there. The interception, then the big block field goal. Now that almost got goofy. He lost the ball and then they almost recovered it, but then it was a penalty and then they ended up with the ball. The Trojans are now 3-4, 1-4 in the Big Ten. They've lost 3 of the last 4 by 14 points. As mentioned, they were up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Did I think this Terps team could win from behind, let alone double digits? Nope. They did that today, winning by being down by 14 points. Donnell Brown got the big block, so shout out to Donnell Brown. He had a big time day today. You heard his name a lot on the broadcast, doing a lot of things on regular defense and special teams. And then John Humphrey, with a pass interference, he had Ty Felton did Billy Edwards deep, the 15-yard variety in college. He had the penalty against the Terps. Usually the Terps are the ones committing the penalty and it using not being in their favor. This one worked to their favor because Felton had him beat. He interfered. That was with 53 seconds left. It was a 4th down incompletion stopped by the defense. The defense again, 11 seconds remaining. The fans were on the field. Everyone was feeling the energy, feeling the love. The Terps get to 4-3. Now they had some miscues, but Roman Hemby, he was running like a man on a mission. He had the 2-point conversion, and that was a gutsy call by Mike Locksley. He pretty much saying we were going for the win, and they got the win there. Billy Edwards, he gets a game ball today. Because he had a career high day in passing. And I know the murmurs, and we know Malik Washington, the quarterback of the future, was there, or as D calls him, the savior. Billy Edwards is your quarterback moving forward for the rest of this season and going into next season. Malik Washington is going to have to earn that spot. And honestly, the way Billy is playing and projecting, the way I think he gets better week in and week out, the play calling from Locksley is still a work in progress, but I think you've seen flashes of what it could be. The screen game, probably would like to run the ball a little bit better, taking your shots down the field. There were flashes of what could potentially be done with Locksley calling the plays and working to this offensive strengths. But Billy Edwards was 39 of 50 for a career high, 373 yards. The touchdown pass to Octavian Smith Jr., he had a solid game. Ty Felton had a touchdown. And Caden Prather, the future wide receiver 1, career high, 9 catches, 111 yards receiving. Lavian Scruggs, he had a big-time interception, as I mentioned, shifted the momentum. And a 51-yard return, setting up a score in the third quarter. Self-inflicted errors by USC. They had an unsportsmanlike contact penalty on the extra point, and they just kind of self-imploded as well. We talked about Lincoln Riley's seat getting a little warm. I don't think he's in any jeopardy, but I think this team isn't as good as they've been in the past, and not even as good as they were last year, obviously with Caleb Williams, but this is a good win. Moss finished 34 of 50. I like the play calling. I know Lincoln Riley can call some plays. His plays are beautiful. They maybe didn't run the ball as much as they would have liked to, but they made some good play calls, especially in that first half. 34 of 50, 336 with a touchdown pass. Jacoby Lane and Kyron Hudson and Deuce Robinson. Deuce Robinson looked really, really good. And the Trojans defense, man, they still can't stop a nosebleed. They gave up 429 yards today to Maryland. And Maryland is no offensive juggernaut, but they gave up damn near 500 yards to Maryland, 429 yards. The bowl eligibility did not seem likely after last week's debacle to Northwestern, 37-10. And the sad part is, as my camera gets a little blurry, hopefully I can focus it here. Hopefully you can see where I'm going here. Let me see what's going on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, a little blurry. Let me see if I can. All right, we'll work with it. We'll rock with it for the rest of this video. But USC has Rutgers next. Maryland goes to Minnesota next Saturday. So that's going to be an interesting game. Minnesota beat USC. So 2 teams that beat USC going at it next week. So let's see if Maryland can keep the momentum going with USC this win. Now I'm back. Good. My camera's clear. It was filled with the excitement of homecoming. I don't know. Maybe my camera had a few drinks celebrating the win, but we're feeling good. We're feeling good tonight. We're feeling good. But continuing with everything, Maryland gets the big time win. Let's look at the box score real quick and see what went down, who stood out, who were some of the performers. As I mentioned, the defense and special teams of Maryland gets a game ball. And I would definitely say Billy Edwards as well, if you want to talk about a game ball, not so game ball as well. But let's look at the box score here. Things that stood out, as mentioned, Billy Edwards 39 of 50, 373, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They really couldn't get the running game on it. As I mentioned, Nola Wright had the workload mainly, 6 for 54. Hemby, 4 for 12. He had the touchdown. Octavian Smith Jr., 1 for 2. McDonald, 2 for 2. Edwards had a rushing touchdown that was big in the game that gave them the lead. But he only had, 9 carries for no yards, basically, because he was basically sacked. And Edwards, as a team, they ran the ball 24 times, but only 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, though. The longest run was 33 yards, so they couldn't get the running game going. USC wasn't much better. My boy Woody Marks only had 17 carries, 82 yards, he had a touchdown. But outside of him, nothing much. Joyner with 6 yards. Moss, -6. They only had 81 yards, and their longest was 16. So not much with either team running the football, but neither team could stop the other throwing the football. And Maryland just was able to get timely stops. Like I said, in the second half, only giving up 14 points. That is a recipe for success. And you see Caden Prather, 9 for 111. Octavian Smith Jr., I'd like to see him use more, 8 for 84. Good out of the slot with a touchdown. Felton, 9 for 84 with a touchdown. Hemby, 6 for 52. He didn't do anything in the running game, but he did a lot catching the football. And I think he's very underrated catching the football. He did good there. Dylan Wade, 4 for 26. Ray, 1 for 10. Howard, the tight end, want to use him a little more, 2 for 6. So you got 7 different receivers catching the ball. You spread the ball around. I think that's very, very important. And I think it starts with these 3, Prather, Smith Jr., and Felton. I think you got to involve all 3 of those guys. Then you got guys like Hemby and Wade who also can make plays on the outside. Makai Lemon had 89 for USC. Deuce Robinson, 3 for 52 with that touchdown. Jacoby Lane, 4 for 51 with the touchdown as well. Defensively, my boy Hippolyte has 7 tackles. And Quayshawn Fuller with the only sack of the day for the Terps. They got 1 sack. USC had 2 sacks. Lavian Scruggs with the interception. Jalen Smith did have an interception for USC as well. Jake Howes did miss a kick. The field goal kicking situation of the Terps is still a little shaky, but he was 3 for 3 on extra points. Michael Lance had his field goal blocked. He was 4 for 4 on his extra points, but Bryce McPherson, he gets a game ball every week. He is one of the best players on his team. He's the punter, if you don't know. He's damn good. For what they lack in the field goal and that department with kicking field goals, they have a damn good punter, and I think his ability to switch field is very, very important. That's for Bryce McPherson, the wonderful punter from Maryland. As I mentioned, you could give him a game ball every week. 3 punts, 159 yards, 1 inside the 20, a 58 yards beauty as well. He's just been a godsend for them because when they're not getting it going offensively, when they have to punt, he can punt the ball 50, 60 yards in flip field position and punt it inside the 20. So big time day from Mr. McPherson, and he's been great all season as well. But I just had to get on here and kind of get an idea of how everybody was feeling. Now, homecoming miracle, best homecoming I can remember with Maryland football because they got it done. They got it done. Mike Locksley, like I said, I already was saying he should not be fired right now. He should at least get next year with a lot of the guys coming in like Malik Washington. This is a big-time win. This is a statement win. It shows his team has not quit on him. His team is playing hard for him, and they got some fight left in them as we get ready to go to Minnesota. That's a winnable game. I actually like the Terps right now because this is a leapfrog, a catapult game, a game that can be a launching pad, a circle the wagons, if you say. So I'm hoping they can go to Minnesota and handle their business. Then you go to Oregon. Then you get Rutgers. So if you can beat Minnesota, you beat Rutgers. That would put you where you need to be. That would get you to what, 6 wins and make you bowl eligible. Then you got Iowa at home. I think they could beat Iowa potentially. If you can beat Minnesota, lose Oregon, beat Rutgers, haven't beaten USC, beat Iowa at home, last home game of the season, maybe get to 9 wins, like I said, or get to, well, you probably only get to 7, but Penn State at the end, I'm not counting though. The games against Oregon and Penn State, if we just don't get beat by 50 points, I'll be cool with that. If they can somehow just keep it within 20, 21 points. But if you beat Minnesota, that's 5 wins. You beat Rutgers, that's 6 wins. You get bowl eligible. You beat Iowa, that's 7. Unfortunately, it's one less win than last season, but you look back. If you don't lay an egg to Northwestern, you don't cost yourself against Indiana, not capitalizing on turnovers. You don't lose to Michigan State. You probably could have been with 9 wins this season. But we're not going to look forward to the past. We're going to celebrate the win. It is a great time to be a Terps fan tonight. Celebrate this win, Terpsville, and just enjoy it. Maryland gets the win today. They avoid being in last place. They're now right there with Rutgers in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten standings. Obviously, we see who the big dogs are. Indiana, big shout out to them, undefeated, 7-0. Oregon, 7-0. Penn State, 6-0 on a bye this week. Illinois, 6-1. Wisconsin, looking good as of late, 5-2. Ohio State on the bye, 5-1. Iowa, 4-2. So the Big Ten is going to be interesting. The top is going to be interesting how it shakes out. How good is Indiana going to be the rest of the season? When they got to play some of the big boys. Oregon looks like they're going to probably be in the Big Ten championship. Penn State, they have a end of the year meeting. We all know coming up with what they got to play. They got to play Ohio State, or do they play each other? So these teams are going to start to play each other soon. Coming up, it's going to be interesting how it shakes out. So stay tuned. Anything can definitely happen. Penn State has Ohio State coming up on 11-2. So they host Ohio State on 11-2, and they host Maryland, as we know, to end the season as well. Real quick, Indiana has, what does Indiana have? They have Washington, Michigan State. They play Michigan, then they play Ohio State. So really, they could potentially only have one loss to Ohio State, and that's going to be a game where they're going to be in it. So look out for Indiana. They may be flirting with the playoff berth. I'm intrigued. And Oregon, real quick, they beat Ohio State, as you know, last week. They won against Purdue. They have Illinois at home, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, Washington. So they're likely, in my opinion, looking to run the table, and they'll be in the college football playoff, I think. And I think they will win the Big Ten just because of that. Now, they'll get to the Big Ten championship. I mean, who they play in there? Penn State. That could be interesting of those two teams in potential playoff matchup, because they can see each other again with the 12-team playoff format. But you got to be feeling good if you're a Terps fan. You got to be looking at this as a hopeful win. As negative as I've been, as critical as I've been, I think this team has a lot of talent. They've squandered some opportunities. They lack discipline. They have given away some games. Some of it has been coaching. Some of it has been the players themselves. But it's good to see them beat USC. You get a big time win in front of your fans on homecoming, where you probably have your largest crowd of the season. The weather is beautiful. You just got to put that little bit of faith and hope in this fan base, because lose a game like this today, the morale will be down. It was really start to spiral where you're like, well, we may not win another game last season, forget being bowl eligible. Now you look at it, we can finish the season playing your best football, building momentum into next year, having more talent, maybe getting more recruits, as we know, some transfers from the portal, some NIL dollars thrown out, maybe guys, people seeing this effort today may want to donate a little more. You can always donate to us, as always, but make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new. Check out the preview that I did for this. I was wrong, thankfully. Maryland has Minnesota this week. I have a preview this week for that. Just hit that like button, leave us a thumbs up, let us know your thoughts. The likes, the thumbs up helps us out tremendously. It costs nothing. Hit the bell to know when all of our videos drop. The Ravens game's coming up. We got a preview on that. Monday we'll be live for that. Post game show for that as well. NBA season coming up. NBA content coming. I got some more Maryland content with the basketball side of things as well. Maryland goes to Minnesota, as mentioned, next week. That game, let's get the time of that game. That is a 3:30 kickoff on Fox Sports. So we'll be talking about it previewing it this week and recapping it with you as well. The Maryland Post game show Here on the Click On Podcast, only place to review your sports and Maryland Terps content how you want it when you need it. For all your ones that acknowledge us, I'm here working hard for you guys. Hope you like the video. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the homecoming miracle. Terps beat USC 29-28. They were underdogs. They got it done. Some pundits, some people in the area thought they would win. But they did. I was wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. But I never am going to stop covering this team and hoping that for the best. You saw how excited I was when I came in here. Had my shirt up. Never. They got it done. Homecoming miracle. This will be one of the most memorable moments in the season. Now they have a chance to finish strong, become bowl eligible, and flip the narrative, and really let yourself free. Let Mike Locksley have some space to really do to make this program legit competitive, to be where anyone is. The Cinderella jersey of the month. So we'll see what happens. Maryland wins 29-28. More content coming this week. Good job, Terps. You guys deserve it. Enjoy homecoming. Be safe. But go enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Then tomorrow, let's start to flip our mindset and get ready to go win on the road in a hostile environment. The Minnesota team who beat USC. Billy Edwards, game ball. Bryce McPherson, the punter, game ball. The defense and special teams players, game ball. And the game ball to Mike Locksley. He got the game ball today. He called a solid game yesterday. I think he threw the ball maybe more than he would have liked. And the team made plays, quarterback made plays, receivers made plays, and we'll make plays on Click On Podcast. I'm getting out of here, guys. Homecoming miracle. I'm going to celebrate. You should celebrate down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Go out of here. Peace. Go Terps. We'll see you this week for more.